All right, fellas, happy Thanksgiving from the campus of Oceanside Collegiate Academy. This is a new series that we're starting. It's called Inside the O with Coaches Laprad.
Oh yeah, got little man S.J. Laprad here, my assistant head coach on the grounds here. It's nice to do the show here in the middle of the O, kind of where we put all the work in, kind of the hard work, and we like to get the payoff on Friday nights. But this is where we put our work in, and it's an honor to be here with both of you fellas. I appreciate y'all coming out here on a big Thanksgiving. We're lucky to practice on Thanksgiving this week, so we're happy and fired up for tomorrow night.
Let's talk about that. It's a privilege to practice on Thanksgiving. You know what that means?
Only 4 teams left in each 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A.
You got it.
1A.
So not everyone's out here, but you guys are putting the work in. So maybe on the theme of Thanksgiving, let's just start there. What are you most thankful for?
Yeah, I'm most thankful for my family and my Oceanside family. You know, these guys took me in like one of their own from day one being on this campus, and feel like I have a family of 600 or 700 being here. But I'm lucky to be out here with my son and out here with all my football players, and that was kind of the message today. You know, be thankful for the opportunity we have this Friday night, and I was just thankful for all of them. I feel more like a older brother to them than a coach. You know, we're a close group, and we put it all out there to each other, and it's a good time. Really thankful for my family and my Oceanside family for sure.
Well, what about you, SJ?
I'm really thankful for my dad and this Oceanside family, of course.
Yep.
And mainly for these players that play here. They take their time out of their day to work their butts off. Come here on Thanksgiving is a real big privilege.
You feel like you've got about 90 big brothers, don't you?
Yeah.
They take care of you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who are some of your favorite players?
I would have Bronco, Mike, Aiden. Got some former players I would like to thank.
Yep.
Tanner Swisher.
I know that kid.
Mm-hmm. It's just your son, actually. Gibby, he actually plays at Oklahoma.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Some good boys. They've treated you well, huh?
Yeah.
Well, on the theme of family, there's nothing bigger than a football family in the Low Country than Laprad name, and the Laprad name is synonymous with football. You've had quite a few coaching influences over your course of your time. How many years have you coached? 19?
This is year 20 for me.
Okay, I've got a list of some of these, and these are some pretty big names. John McKissick,
Yeah.
Ian Rafferty, Chuck Amato, Buddy Green, Norm Chow, Freddie Hamilton, Nick Saban, Will Muschamp, and Kurt Smoke 'em if you got him Signetti.
Oh yeah,
my
he's
guy
hot
in
right
Indiana.
now.
He is
He's
super
having a
hot.
good year.
Maybe talk about how you've been influenced by a lot of their coaching techniques, their styles, their leadership, how they develop, but overall culture. Maybe talk a little bit. Have you taken a little piece of each one of those guys to finally be here at Oceanside as your first coaching job as a head coach?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm very fortunate. You know, I grew up on the sidelines where Coach McKissick was a ball boy, and he's the winningest coach at any level of football, most career wins of anybody. Took a lot from him, and then growing up with my dad, always being on the sideline, actually playing for my dad and coaching with my dad. Learned a lot, took a lot away from my dad. You know, he did a good job of starting a program from ground zero, and I saw the amount of work he had to put in to start a program. So I understood how fortunate I was when I got here and inherited a team that was back-to-back state champions. You know, I know how lucky I am to get that. And even my college coaches, Buddy Green, Norm Chow, Chuck Amato, just how they grinded it out every day. I learned a lot. Learned the grind from Buddy Green, amount of film he would watch and the time he put in. You know, it was always a race from the time you got the film to the kickoff that week. You wanted to put more film time in than the other team did. And just taking a little bit from all those guys, I felt like has helped me kind of become the coach that I'm trying to become now.
Yeah, another coach we didn't mention who wasn't really one of your coaches, but a teammate at North Carolina State. You've kept in good touch with Phillip Rivers, and talk a little bit about him.
Yeah,
we probably should try to get those guys on schedule next year.
Yeah, we need to wait till his son graduates. His son Gunner's a 4-star quarterback now. They're playing out in Alabama. You know, they're undefeated right now. I think they're in the semifinals also this week. We talk about once or twice a year. He's a great guy. You know, thing I learned from him most was just how good of a person he was. You know, and we were in college. He got married and had a child, and seeing him being an adult at such a young age, it always inspired me to have a family and have a little man like this one here. But he's just a great human being. He's a great player, but he's a better person off the field. And seeing how the respect he gained from everybody and how he carried himself, it was always somebody that was a friend, but somebody I also looked up to.
Absolutely, the cleanest trash talker in the NFL.
Oh yeah, he's never said a cuss word. I can vouch for that one. He's a good one, but he's just a great human being.
Let's talk a few numbers real quick before we get into the season play. Just who Coach Brent Laprad is. This is your 11th year plus of being either a coordinator. This is your first year as a head coach, but your record over the coaching career, this is astonishing. It's 138-21. It's pretty good.
That's a good one. That's pretty good.
138-21. Let that sink in. And if we think about over the last 11, 12 years, you've lost one region game. Yeah. You've been to 4 state title matches, winning 3. Hopefully this will be a 4th if we take care of business here this tomorrow night. You've coached over 61 players in the D1, 5 in the NFL, 2 Super Bowl champions. So when I hear that, you're a phenomenal X's and O's guy. There's no question. You've got one of the scariest football minds at this level, maybe even at a collegiate level as well. But you focus a lot on development of your players and watching them grow not only through high school but into college and onto the pros. Talk a little bit about how that shapes you as a coach and how you approach your Oceanside Land Sharks like that.
Yeah, I really love the high school age kids. I feel like that's the age group that have the biggest impact on their lives. I love that 14 to 18-year-old group there. And it's really fun. I love the part of seeing them when they're 7th and 8th graders and watching how they grow up and mature to when they're seniors and being able to influence them and lead them in the right direction, try to teach them, let them learn from my mistakes instead of making mistakes for themselves. And it's really a fun age. I've been very fortunate to be able to coach a lot of good players. You know, that record, I didn't even know that was crazy. Only losing 1 region game in 11 years, but it's just a tribute to a bunch of good players, guys that trusted me and bought into our system and what we were doing. I tell everybody, I call the same plays every year. You know, it's really people that really deserve the reward for all this are the parents. I've been able to be involved with a lot of good parents and raise a lot of good young men, and that's really what's helped me a lot throughout my career. Is more a tribute to the parents. They do a great job, and I knew from the day I stepped on this campus, I feel like the one thing that nobody can match is our Black and Blue Club and our parents and our foundation and how we have just a great support group for these kids, you know. And that was the one thing that I fell in love with this place, that I knew I could win here because of how special the parents were. And it's another year, another great group. I think we fed 250 people at the tailgate last Friday. I mean, it
was a good time.
We're just a big family, and it makes my life easy. They make me look like a good coach for sure.
Well, parents can be parents sometimes, right? They can overparent, but I think you've established a really good culture. And if you think about the transition, there's been 4 head coaches in the last 4 years, and we're looking to smooth that out. And I think a big component of that is you embracing the families, embracing the kids, and making this more. It's not about you. It's not about you, NSJ. It's not about just the Oceanside football program, but it's more about a community, and there's strength in numbers. And I think you're doing a phenomenal job from a culture standpoint.
Yeah, it's funny. We were at the senior banquet a couple weeks ago, and I just went through some of the stuff talking about the seniors. You know, they've never played a home football game. None of them have had the same position coach for all 4 years. We've had 2 to 3 coordinators on both sides of the ball in their 4 years. They've had 4 different head coaches. You know, if I told you all that and you didn't know really what Oceanside was, you'd never believe that they'd been to 3 state championships and working to get towards their 4th Friday night and winning 2 of the 3 already. So this senior class is a really special group. They're a close-knit, hard-working group. I love these guys. You know, the thing that makes them special, that makes it easy for me to coach, is they trust my staff. They know that we know what we're talking about, and they trust us. So we tell them to do something, they go out and execute it. And last Friday night just showed you how much they trusted us. A big 42-0 win over a Dillon team. I don't think they've ever been beat like that. And I didn't feel like Dillon played bad. We just got hot and got rolling, and our kids just put the gas pedal down and really thumped a great Dillon team. You know, they have, I think number 0 is one of the best in the state. He's a UNC commit. He got a quarterback that's top guy in the country. 2 linebackers going to all-star games. One's North-South, one's Shrine Bowl. And those guys just got in there and grinded it out, wore them out. It really executed a great game plan that staff put together for them.
Yeah, it was a convincing victory on all 3 phases. So let's talk a little bit about numbers. That was a phenomenal win. But if I look about, you've got great senior leadership, good an excellent leadership in your quarterback play with Aiden Manavian. But just on the season, so pre-region, region, and into the playoffs, right now, Oceanside is averaging 41 points a game, and you're giving up 15.8. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
To you?
Yeah.
Now, you've been known just as a defensive guy and led the state as a coordinator for multiple years. But now let's shift gears quickly. Let's talk about Loris. Their numbers, 49, almost 50 points a game.
Oh, yeah.
And they're giving up under 13 points a game. They're 13-0. Oceanside knocked them out of the playoffs last year, 42-7. You were at that game?
Mm-mm.
No?
Too cold.
Too cold. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we've got to warm you up, so make sure you're there tomorrow night, buddy.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a cold one.
And so there's been a lot of talk on social media. There's been a lot of hype around this game. Here we sit at 11-2, reigning two-time defending state champions that knocked Loris off last year. What are you expecting from that team when you see them tomorrow night up at District 4 Stadium?
Yeah, it's going to be a big game. We kind of felt last year was their first time being in the big game, and you kind of got to get there. I kind of mimic us in the state championship 3 years ago. You know, we weren't ready to win state championship that year. We had to get there first and see what it was about before we could go and win it the last 2 years. And I think that's where they're at as a program. You know, they got to the lower state championship last year, and now they're ready to win it. So we're expecting a big game out of them. They beat us in both statistical categories. They score more, they give up less. Their coach is a great coach. He won a bunch of ball games up in Virginia. He's a great guy, too. You know, it's fun talking to him before the games. You just get that vibe of him being a great person and a great human being. And they've got the community behind them. You know, they shut down the school. They shut down the stores. Everybody comes out to wish them on their way when they leave. And it's going to be a battle. We're expecting it to be whoever has the ball last kind of game. And it's going to be right down to the end. But that's what it's about. We want good football games when you get down to these Final Four. It's supposed to be a big game. I think they have 20 seniors out of the starting 22.
Oof.
Yeah, a lot of guys back. They got a great quarterback. You know, he doesn't put the ball in jeopardy much. I think last year coming into the game, he had thrown 1 interception. I think this year he has 2 or 3. You know, he does a great job protecting the ball and getting it in their playmakers' hands. They have 4 really, really good receivers. Everybody's back up front on both sides of the ball. So it's going to be a tough task for us. We feel like the one spot we have the advantage is they play 7 guys both ways. So we feel like if we could hang in there early in the first and third quarter, that maybe we can wear them down.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. You know, tempo's going to play a big part in the game Friday night. We're going to push the pace a lot with them. So hopefully keeping their defense on the field and resting Irish is going to be a plan. But it's going to be a dogfight. That's what it's supposed to be. And we expect a great game out of Loris Friday night.
Well, I tell you what helped last Friday against Dillon was that Oceanside crowd. Maybe talk about the impact of what the crowd, the families, the fans. I saw a lot of ex-players there, a lot of people just from the community traveling up to the north side of Charleston at DD4 Stadium. What is that going to mean for us tomorrow night?
That crowd's going to be huge. I tell you, I wear a headset on Friday night, so I really can't hear nothing. I can't hear the crowd yelling and all. And I remember the opening kickoff, I took my headset off and I was like, oh my God, and looked around. And both crowds, even Dillon brought a big one. You know, both crowds were fired up and getting after it. And I think a lot of the talk on social media has to do with that. And it's going to be a big one. We need all our alumni, all our parents, all the fans. We need the Mount Pleasant community to back us Friday night. That's going to be one advantage. You know, we've worked our butt off this year to get home field advantage and be the 1 seed. So that's one thing that, you know, I feel like another place that we can gain an advantage is having that home crowd. And I know Mount Pleasant is proud of us. They've been proud of this team the past 2 years. So I expect Mount P to show it big for us Friday night.
Yeah, excellent. I will not be there, but I'll be watching remotely, so apologies for that, but we'll be watching from New Orleans.
You've watched a lot remotely, so let's keep that going.
Yeah, I know.
We've been playing good this year with you remotely watching, so let's don't screw that up.
Well, just a quick sign of support, not only from the community and the families and the players and the alumni, but also with the new administration here at Oceanside, the interim principal, Mike Lorenz, kind of a football guy, All-American, 4-year starter at University of Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
Under Barry Alvarez, and had a cup of coffee in the NFL with the Patriots. And then also to the owner of our management company, Pinnacle, Coach D'Angelo is a Hall of Fame football coach, high school football coach in Wisconsin. You've had a chance to get to know both of those guys. Maybe just a quick spot on the amount of support from them and what that means for you.
Absolutely. They are our biggest supporters. I tell you, whatever we need, they find a way to get it done. Having 2 guys that are, you know, just that big of football coaches and big into the game of football, having them with us showing us the leadership part of it and always having our back, having the support for us. I mean, I'm in the perfect situation, and I know that. It's just great. Mr. D'Angelo, getting to meet him. I met him a couple weeks ago, and we hit it off. He is a great football coach and a great person. Just sitting down talking football with him was probably one of my favorite moments of the season this year. We sat and talked about the old wishbone, the old days of football.
The old veer.
Old veer football, and I really enjoyed my time I had with him. And then our interim guy, the principal, Mr. Mike, he does a great job with us. He does a great job with our kids. You know, we were in a tough spot losing some people, and he has stepped in and really, he's been the glue that kept us all together. He's done a great job for our school and keeping our kids together, and he comes out, watches us practice, gives our kids support. He's always in. I love every morning we get to school, kids get to school, and he's asking them, hey, how'd the game go? Were we able to pound a rock? And I just love how his motivation and how he is with all the kids, and we want to do a good job and make those two proud. You know, it means a lot to me to represent them. I don't take it for granted, and I want to make sure Saturday morning I can call both of those guys and say, I'm trying to continue this great football tradition that you guys have started.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me and this team.
One of my favorite points of the year, I'm going to switch gears here, was watching that win against Dutch Fork.
Oh, yeah.
We can't have this chat without talking about beating Dutch Fork. What did it mean to you?
It meant a lot. Knocking off #1 team in the state, 44th national.
Yep.
Team in the country. Felt good.
Ooh, that was a big one, wasn't it?
It definitely was.
Did you cry? Were you happy, like happy tears?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I got to admit, I got choked up as well too. What about you when you see Gaspar come down with that interception and slide?
It was just a surreal moment. It was hard to believe. You know, he's a great football coach, Coach Knotts, and you don't get a lot of chances to knock him off. And it was a great win, big win for our program. You know, we had spoke early in the year. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. We started off 0-2, and I don't mind losing football games, you know, as long as we play hard. But the message to the kids was, I was just upset that everybody didn't get to see them and know our kids for who I know them for. You know, I know how hard they work and how much work they put in and what good people they are off the football field. They're great members of this community, and that was the message to them. Like, I just want everybody to know y'all like I know you. I know who you are and what your true colors are. And we started 0-2. I felt like everybody didn't know who they were. So I felt like that night they kind of taught the state and taught all the other teams in the state and the low country, like, this is who we are, and we're coming to play some real football. And it's great to see them respond like that in a big game. And that was a big program win for us. It really was.
That moment with your dad on the field, there's a photo. Oof. Chokes me up, man.
Yeah.
It was a great one.
That was a good one. You know, we took a couple of hard losses to Coach Knotts. It was us and them kind of to win the state championship for probably 10 years. And he came out on the better end of it. So it was good to kind of get one for the old man. And it being my first year being a head coach, it meant a lot to my dad. So I tell you, having my kid there and my dad to watch all that, it was a special moment for sure.
Here's a stat or number that I don't think anybody knows yet, though, but how many text messages did you have waiting for you when you got on the bus, or maybe the next morning? How many do you think you got in total?
176. It was crazy. You know, I'll never forget picking up my phone after that game on the bus, and I turned to show SJ. I was like, look, SJ, 176 messages.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of people they know how much work I put in, and finally to get the reward for it. A lot of people just wanted to, you know, tell me great job and appreciate you. And even the old players I had in the past, a lot of guys reached out to me. And that's the fun part about games like that. Hearing from all the old guys, great job, coach. We love you, man. And those words mean a lot to me for sure.
Well, you are the head coach, but you can't do it alone, right?
Absolutely.
You've got a great coaching staff. And when you think about, you know, watch the boys out here this morning, pretty loose, which is good. Hay is in the barn, right? Like, we're just all about execution. But your coaches still have a bit of an intensity. So you've got great ones on both sides of the ball. And maybe talk a little bit about getting this deep into the season. You worry about your players, keeping them focused, but your coaches have been right there. So maybe a quick couple of comments on your staff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I ride my guys hard, not gonna lie. I get after the coaches a lot. You know, we want to make sure we don't let these kids and this school and community down. So it's a lot of long Sunday meetings, a lot of film hours, but they've done a great job this year. You know, I came in this year, I was the D coordinator the past 2 years, and I flipped over to the offensive side. My first move was to bring in Rashad Smith. He does a great job on defense. I actually coached
Ex-player.
I coached him at Fort Dorchester. He spent some years coaching with me at Fort Dorchester, and we ran the same system. So we called things the same thing, so it was a no-brainer to bring him in. But watching him work, you know, me and SJ get up here at 6:30, 7 o'clock this week, and he's already in there watching film. And I look on his huddle film. He's got 25 hours watching huddle this week. And that's what it's about, seeing a guy that kind of I coached through his teen years, watching him mature and win and be a great coach like he is, and watch how much these kids respect him. That kind of, it means a lot to me. Watching a guy kind of fall in love with the game like I did and do what I did, it's great getting him. But on the defensive side, we're very lucky. Our strength and conditioning guy, Brian Coleman, he's kind of our heartbeat of the team.
Might be one of the best in the biz.
Oh, man.
And like,
he is
humble.
great.
No one really knows about it. He might be your secret sauce.
Yeah, he is. He's special. We wouldn't be here without him. I can tell you that. We'd be sitting at home mad that we weren't practicing this week without Coach Coleman. But he's the heartbeat of the team. He works their butts off in the weight room, and the kids enjoy going in there. That's what's really special about him. He does a great job with our defensive line. We had all 4 starters back this year, and they have just really held our team in every game this year. We moved Coach Pryor. James Pryor had done the DBs. I kind of wanted him to evolve as a coach, and I moved him from DBs to linebackers. And it's funny because my dad did the same thing to me about 10 years ago. And same look I had on my face was the same look James had when I told him I wanted to move him to linebackers. But I want him to become a coordinator and become a head coach one day, so he's got to kind of move around in positions. So I moved him into linebackers, and he's done a great job for us there. I brought Nate Joyner in to help us out. He's kind of like Rashad's right-hand man. He does a great job with the scouting reports, great job with our scout team, getting everything we need for Friday nights. So we brought him in on defense too. And then we have Rashad Smith in the back doing the DBs. And those guys do a great job heading it up. On Friday nights, we were very fortunate to get a guy named Shaq Rashad to come help us. He helps us on Sundays and Fridays. And he's a guy, was an all-ACC player at UNC Chapel Hill, played a couple years with the Texans in the NFL. He's a guy that's actually published books about defense. And he
Looks like he'd probably still play.
Oh, yeah. I wish we could get him in some pads. But he's a guy up top. He's Rashad's eyes on Fridays night. Getting him was a steal for us. He was big. And, you know, moving over to the offensive side of the ball, I didn't want to change a whole lot. We had a lot of success in the past. We have our quarterback back and the core of the offensive line and receivers back, so we didn't want to change a whole lot. I still have Coach Patterson. He's our OL coach. He's done a great job. We wanted to add a little bit of youth up there, so we brought Finn Johnson in. You know, he's an ex-player, captain here at Oceanside. Has been a big part of Oceanside, taking a big step up into being state champion. So it was another no-brainer getting Finn in there. So Coach Johnson and Coach Patterson, they hunkered down our O-line. I try to handle the quarterbacks part of it. We have Coach Drummond, does our running backs. He does a great job. He does all our social media stuff and all our camera stuff in the school. So he's done a great job with us. I think that's been a big difference in our offense this year. We haven't turned the ball over at running back, knock on wood. But we haven't fumbled the ball. You know, I think we fumbled week 3 or week 4, and we haven't really had one since. So he works his butt off with those running backs. They've done a great job. You know, we had James O'Connor go down for us, and it was
first game of the year.
First game. It was a big hole for us. You know, he's a guy that we knew worked his butt off in the offseason, and we could count on James. He was going to be there for us every Friday night. And he had a tough injury. Ended up getting a wrong diagnosis, ended up getting surgery a week ago. It's been a heartbreak not having him because I know how much work he put in the offseason. I knew how much he prepared himself. He had a lot of long days of practicing baseball. He still went and speed trained and worked out for an hour and a half every day on top of doing baseball. So I hate it for James. He was a big part of this team. But we're going to make sure we win it for James, try to get him a ring. So that was a tough one, losing him. And then at receivers, very lucky who I got to coach my receivers. I had Sims coming in. Sims Bennett was going to be a receiver coach for us, and he does a great job. He handles our pass game. But we got Joe Sabatini to come in from, he was with UNC Chapel Hill from 2018 to 2022. And him and Sims have really come in and done a great job with our passing game. I think Aiden's up to 3,600 yards, and he's still got 2 games left. You know, he's got a chance if we win numbers Friday, to maybe hit 4,000, which is a crazy number. Because we also have a 1,000-yard rusher. You know, Zakai's got over 1,100 on the ground this year.
Well, that speaks to a well-balanced offense too, though.
Absolutely. I think that's the difference in our offense this year. We're able to run the ball. And that's
Yeah,
tribute
because
to them big guys
defenses
up
expect
front.
you guys to throw all over the field with Aiden.
Absolutely.
And with a great receiving core as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got weapons all over the field. You know, our receivers, God, we got weapons for days, you know. Terrence Johnson's probably the best receiver in the state. You know, I feel like he's the most underrated guy in the state. He's still rated high at a lot of spots, but he's a guy that nobody can cover. You know, we've played these 5-star corners from Georgia and 4-star guys all year. Nobody slowed him down. Not one time.
Well, he's getting double and triple team. That leaves a lot of other guys open, and Aiden does a good job of scanning the field, going to his reads, and finding the guy that's open.
Yep. All year they try to take away 1 or 2 of them, and when they do, the other 2 burn them. You know, I remember Marlboro County game. They did a great job of keeping a guy in Terrence and Ant's face and a safety over the top. So we had to rely on Ethan and Cooper and Tyler Gardner to come through the middle, and they did. And last week, you know, Terrence really got the double team every play. So it was Ant that ended up getting 2 touchdowns. But those guys have been great team players. You know, they're not worried about stats. They do a great job of supporting each other. And it's kind of whatever the defense gives us is who's going to get the ball. It really doesn't determine what I call or what Coach Sabatini and Coach Bennett call for the plays. It's really whatever the defense gives us is what we're going to take. And Aiden does a great job of spreading the ball around and taking what the defense gives us. And proud of the offense. They played really good team football this year. They really have.
Another guy that knows offense well from the quarterback and receiver standpoint is Dr. Coach Mark Hartman.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's kind of like the family of Oceanside. Sam Hartman and Coach Hartman, you know, they're the guys that really have started this thing from the ground zero days. You know, I remember him and Coach Greer, they kind of got this whole football program kicked off the ground from the days when they were practicing in the mud and having the QB1 on Netflix. You know, a lot of respect goes to those guys. If we're fortunate enough to win it this year, every year we win it, I make sure I send those guys a message. You know, Coach Greer and Coach Call, those original founders of this, you know, they put a lot of the hard work in and didn't get to reap the benefits of it. You know, and I understand that now we get the benefits of it, but a lot of it goes to those guys, you know. They put a lot of hard work in, and now we get to, like I said, reap the benefits from their hard work.
I think Coach Greer's hard work works motto has stayed the test of time here, and it's proven with his 4th straight title up at Providence Day. I tell you what's interesting is 6 years ago, I might say to this day, the big dog Robert Brunson did woof woof. He did an interview with Coach Greer right before they went up to take on the Barnwell Wahhosses.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Did you say
that
Wahhoss?
Wahhoss.
There we go.
There you go. That's pretty good.
Robert Brunson pronounces that better than anybody.
Oh, yeah, he's great. I love hearing him on the mic. He does a great job.
I got to say, I kind of miss being with the big dog up top. Those are some great days. Called a lot of games for a lot of kids that I've coached and watched grow up here. And this is kind of about the last year of your seniors that are coming through, so it's been a special year to watch. Maybe as we close up here, a couple of thoughts. We haven't talked about assistant head coach SJ. Maybe what's the best part about what he does on the sidelines on game night?
I tell you, he really does a great job of getting the kids fired up. It's funny, last Saturday we're sitting in the bed, about 8 o'clock, still laying in the bed Saturday morning, and we cut the news on, and I see him in the Shark before the kids are running out. He's punching Jackson and getting them all fired up and ready to go, and it's really great to see him around the kids. He feels like he has 60 older brothers. They really do a great job of taking care of him, but he kind of brings the life to the party for the team. He's kind of that joyful little kid that it reminds them that, you know, it's football and it's a big time game, but it's not that serious. We all do this.
Still a kid's game.
Absolutely. We all do this to have fun, you know, and that's one thing. SJ brings the fun to everyday practice and the games.
Well, the pregame and postgame motivational speeches are a big one. I know that. And I know when my kid Tanner misses, you falling asleep on him on the bus rides home. So you make a big impact to those guys. So don't ever forget about that. Maybe you tell me what he thinks best about your dad coaching.
It would probably be how good he is. Like you said, one of the craziest football minds probably I've ever seen.
You're a trip.
Yeah. That'll make a daddy happy on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's
make him happy with some turkey.
Well, let's talk about that. We got to get out of here pretty soon because we've got to go eat. So tell me, if you could load up the most epic all-time Thanksgiving plate, what's on your plate?
Ham.
All right.
Mashed potatoes.
Ham and potatoes.
Mac and cheese, green beans.
Big old roll.
3 rolls.
3?
Oh, yeah. And a glass of sweet tea.
What about any gravy? No gravy?
He's not a gravy guy.
No turkey?
No turkey.
All right. What about the sweets? Pumpkin pie, cherry pie, apple pie, any kind of pie?
Any kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Any sweet.
He likes we had us a nice little brownie last night with some ice cream, some Breyer's ice cream on top.
That was good.
We love our sweets for sure.
Yeah.
And it shows with our bellies.
Well,
I don't got one.
Well, I got one for both of us.
the old shuffle truffle.
That's right.
You are a trip, buddy. One of my favorite photos is you and your daddy like bent over on the knees, like you dress like you are in official coaching gear on the sidelines. So, give me your prediction for tomorrow night against Loris.
It's going to be a tough game. I don't know what the score will be. It's going to be a 1-2 touchdown game.
Yeah. So no blowouts either way. They score a lot of points. They don't give up a lot, but so do we.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good. All right.
They haven't played those monsters like Terrence Johnson, Anthony Williams, Aiden Manavian.
Well, I would say that the pre-region schedule part with the two teams from Georgia, with Irmo, Ashley Ridge, Dutch Fork, I mean, that really battle tests you and your boys and your coaches to come play a really tough opponent like Loris. And then you're sitting on either BHP or
Powdersville.
Yeah, Powdersville, and those are all proud programs. And BHP is probably licking their chops trying to get one back at us from last year as well, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe wrap us up here. We've got two more, but really we've got one more. We got to get past tomorrow night before we move on to the state title.
Yeah, tomorrow night, that's kind of where all our focus is right now. You know, those guys have had us circled on the schedule since last year. You know, I've heard they wear shirts that say unfinished business, and it's going to be a dogfight. That's what we want. You know, we're going to get fired up come 7:30, and we're going to throw it up in there, and, you know, may the best man win. That's what it's about on Friday nights. But I like my kids, and I like our chances. I feel like if we play our best game and they play their best game, we'll be fine.
Yep. Well, you've got great mojo, good tradition on that field up in North Charleston, so let's keep that rolling.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate your time, Coach Laprad. Coach Laprad.
Oh, yeah. Let me give a shout out. I tell you, one thing that's really special in this program that people don't get enough credit for what they do is our black and blue. We have a bunch of mamas and daddies that help us with our black and blue, from raising money to feeding our kids to making sure we got food after the game, making sure we got Gatorades, making sure we set up the field. And, you know, the coaches around here, they think that's normal, but I'm fortunate enough to know it's not normal.
Yep.
It's what makes this such a special place. They make my job very easy and the rest of my staff. And, you know, one thing that I'm very thankful for on this Thanksgiving is our black and blue and our parents. The great job they do supporting these kids, they make this place special.
Yeah.
And without them, none of this would ever be possible. I know they're tired of hearing me say it, but I have to keep reminding them.
No, they're not. Trust me.
They do a great job for us, and they really are what makes Oceanside football program special, is our black and blue members.
Well, I mean, look, the guy behind the camera right now is Neon Dion over there. It's his Thanksgiving, and he's out here filming this with you guys, just making sure that the games on Friday nights are great, and just bringing a little bit of the inside of Coach Laprad's minds to your fans, to the alumni, to everybody that's involved with Oceanside football. We appreciate you. We're thankful for you. You've done a phenomenal job coming in as a new head coach, and without skipping a beat, you've got us, you know, looking 2 wins away from another state title. Let's take care of Loris first. Mm-hmm. But so maybe we can do this again next week.
I'd love to. Get us a win Friday night. We'll get us another Thursday, same time, same place. Let's knock it out.
Any final thoughts from you, SJ? Coach?
I would like to thank our sponsors, Banks Construction.
Yep.
Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, that's a big one. Charleston National Airport, that's a big one. Those guys do a lot for us.
I know the McDonald's is a big one too.
McDonald's, oh man, yeah.
First down.
There you go.
Hey, give this kid a microphone and a camera. He's ready to go.
He's ready to go.
You're something else. Well, we couldn't be as successful as a program without you and all your help too, buddy.
Yeah, I said we do this every Thursday.
I like it, man. Let's do it. Well, this has been Inside the O with Coach Brent Laprad, Coach S.J. Laprad, and we'll look forward to coming to you next week.
Thank you.
Let's go Land Sharks.
Let's go. Thank you, Swish. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.